You watched everyone else move forward, choosing, building, arriving, with an ease that looked effortless from the outside. And you stood a little apart from it, feeling something you could never quite name. Not envy, something quieter. The sense that their road simply wasn't yours, and yours hadn't shown itself yet. So you hesitated. You began things and set them down. You let whole years pass while the world around you filled in all its lines. And underneath the wandering, a voice you couldn't silence kept saying the same soft thing. I am not behind. I am only not ready yet. Here is what almost no one told you. Not everyone is built to arrive early. Some are built for depth instead of speed, built for a life that spirals inward, for years, long before it ever opens outward. Look within. Within is the fountain of the good, and it will ever bubble up if you will only dig. Most people build a self the fast way. They borrow it, the goals, the timelines, the shape of a whole life, from the world around them. It works. It also stays shallow. But your inner world was too loud to copy anything cleanly. Something in you quietly refused a shape that wasn't true. Not out of rebellion, but out of a kind of self-protection. Because to force yourself too early into the wrong life doesn't make you successful. It makes you fracture, slowly, along a seam no one else can see. So the delay was never you failing to begin. It was you forming. While others were building careers above the ground, you were building foundations beneath it. You were asking, years too early, the questions most people don't reach until midlife. Who am I really? And of all this, how much is actually mine? That slow, invisible work is the reason you won't hollow out later, the way those who built on borrowed ground so often quietly do. You also saw too much, too soon. The gap between what people said and what they meant. The emptiness inside things everyone else was chasing with such conviction. And it is hard to race for a prize you can see straight through. So you stepped back and were called unambitious, when the truth was you were simply unwilling to pretend. If you have spent years feeling late, out of step, certain you missed a window everyone else seemed to find, stay here with me a moment. The timeline you were handed was built for a different kind of person. You are not behind. You are simply on a slower, deeper clock. The loneliness was never a flaw in you. For a mind like yours, shallow company can feel lonelier than being alone. This is the hardest gate. Many turn back here, trading the self still forming for the sweet relief of finally belonging somewhere. But those who can hold the solitude without betraying themselves cross into something that cannot be rushed and cannot be taught. I am larger, better than I thought. I did not know I held so much greatness. And then, somewhere you never circled on a calendar, something settles. The anxiety you carried so long you stopped calling it anxiety, quietly loosens its grip. Comparison goes still. You stop asking who you should be and begin for the very first time to simply be who you are. And because this self was not borrowed, because it was earned in years that no one ever saw, it carries a weight the fast lives never grow. Not loudness, coherence. Your words begin to land because you no longer waste them. Your presence steadies a room without trying. You have stopped needing to fit anywhere. And so, at last, you fit your own life. So if you have always felt late, consider this. You may not be behind at all. You may be early, for a kind of life that cannot be hurried into being, the kind that only opens once you have stopped trying to be anyone but exactly who you already are. You were never a weed racing the spring. You are a slow, deep-rooted thing, becoming something that lasts. So bloom in your own hour. You are right on time.